Are you jealous?
Oh shit, here we go again.
What up? What up? It's your man, I Make Mad Beats, live in effect on some 1993 type vibes. We here with another episode of Type Beat, a producer podcast. Let me get my mic. Is that set up properly? Yeah. Live from outer space, an unapologetic studio. Behind me is my cast.
LJ1S.
Unique.
C major.
Kid Maestro.
I guess that's what's up. Decently, what's up? Yeah, man. So we got some interesting things to discuss today in the world of producers, engineers, and people who just like to talk. What we talking about, man?
Man, you know, we always working, so we talking about the work, how you can't skip the work to get to where you're trying to go to in life, especially with this, in this music business. What's the BPM? I think that's going to be an interesting one. Yeah, I'll prepare for that conversation. And also, what's a platform or device that's kind of slept on that you feel helped revolutionize like music production in general? Yeah, I think we start with the platform joint. What's a slept on device or platform? For me, my mind to Shazam. I feel like a lot of people know about it, but we don't talk about it as much. Like, as a producer, like that changed the game for me. Being out, especially like with you hear them rare samples or just music you haven't heard of before, then you get that inspiration. All the time you can't, you can take a note, but being able to Shazam it and hear it instantly and like play it in that moment when you in the car, like I feel like that changed the game.
I think from sorry.
All right, go ahead.
No, I'm finna say for me, I think it was Splice. Shoot, made it to where sample-free royalties were a thing. I know me, shit, I'll just go to YouTube and chop some shit up, download it, and boom, I got a sample, but not really worried about the back end of it, but shout out to Splice and platforms like that.
I think Splice is like probably a perfect answer, except I don't think it's slept on though. I feel like
Splice is kind of up
Splice
there
gets
now.
the credit, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
for changing the game.
I feel like
I didn't hear much of Splice before until I got with y'all.
I feel like you definitely get the credit, but I feel like it's also it's not gatekept, but it's like a guilty secret. Like niggas just don't be wanting niggas to know that they use it.
I feel that.
Yeah, I feel like it's just like either you just okay with using it and you okay with niggas knowing you using it, or you use this shit and then you just don't let niggas know.
Damn, has Splice become like, has the rules for sampling records like shift to Splice?
Yeah.
You know, niggas want to let you know where they got their records from or their samples.
But I don't think
or
it's the
whatever.
same like it's not the same like principle. It's not because they want to keep their shit. It's because it's because most people view it as cheating, and so they don't want people to know that they use it.
Facts.
It's just
Facts.
embarrassing. Like,
Yeah, it's like yeah.
Damn.
that joint, your favorite part was just the loop.
Wait,
That
that's,
drag
It's
thing.
like oh shit, you don't focus the drums. Oh okay. Oh man.
that's interesting though. I didn't.
Yeah, with sampling it was more like I don't want niggas to know I chopped this record type shit. Nah, Splice I feel like it's very
Like,
much so
nah.
like niggas don't be wanting niggas to know.
Facts.
Damn.
When Sonny Digital was in the chat that one time,
Oh yeah.
he was talking about how like
Yeah.
they wanted, like they was like trying to. I don't know. I feel like from the other side, they
Yeah,
was,
it's
like,
not.
really.
Yeah,
pushing
not
Yeah,
it.
that's the
Yeah.
other thing too. Like
Yeah.
it's there are cases where some of those joints aren't royalty free. Like they say royalty free, but some of those joints are very much like Illmind situations where like
Yeah.
Illmind will let you get off with some joints, but if you get a placement, he definitely gonna hit you up and be like, hey, let's talk percentages. And also I've while some of them joints are truly royalty free, I feel like they finessed some people maybe in the beginning to get to it because Sunny Digital is one, but also Surplus.
I was just
They're super against it, and all of their packs are on there. Like all of
Which
their
is
early packs are on there.
crazy,
And I know they've been talking shit about Splice for a minute.
Man, I don't even know how that happens. Like, well, I don't know how you get finessed into like the royalty free.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know the inner workings of it, but I can see it happening. I don't know exactly what happened, but I can see like niggas just maybe needing some upfront, or maybe the upfront bag was like, all right, bet, and they didn't really know. Like especially early, like Splice has been around for a long time. Surplus has been on Splice since before I was you know they're probably one of the early adopters of that, and it probably sounded good. But they probably got stuck into something that needs to be renegotiated. Like, hey, niggas using my shit like crazy. Let's and so. But I don't know if that's the case. Like, I don't know what the case is. But I can definitely see some 360 royalty type shit going on or whatever. Like.
What about SoundCloud? Well, that's not. It's not secret. It's like damn.
Restate the question for me one more time.
A platform or device that's kind of slept on in the music world that helped change the game.
Reverb Nation.
At a point, I think that Reverb Nation was, I feel like more so when niggas was trying to, get their name out there. At one point, Reverb Nation was a market, I feel. I'm not sure how much it impacts now.
It helps shape the game. I mean, MySpace isn't slept on, but I think MySpace's impact on the music game is slept on.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first
MySpace.
That was the first
MySpace.
place to
Bro.
Bro, I'll never forget, man. I'll never. I was in New York, man. I'll never forget. I used to tune into Just Blaze's MySpace page all the time. You know what I'm saying? And I remember one day he posted up like, "Hey yo, check out this Rick James flip I did last night," and it was, the joint off of It was that joint. And it was just raw out the MPC.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And then I just remember like 3 days later, I told my man, I said, yo, peep this Just Blaze. I pulled that joint up, it was gone.
Yeah.
And then like 3 months later, new Jay-Z.
Hey, that's real. MySpace is real.
Yeah, MySpace, people's getting their first songs out, like really saying,
real.
okay, is this something I want to do?
Yeah, bro.
Bro, me and my homie used to like freestyle over the phone and record that junk
Bro.
Yeah.
and post it to MySpace. That's crazy.
Bro.
LimeWire was another one of them jets.
Nah, that But I don't think a line one I slept on though. Well, probably now.
I feel like uTorrents.
In general, as a whole,
That junk
When
changed
they-
the production game
nah,
for
for sure.
When they start making free trials for these
Robert,
dolls, huh?
You saying what up to Wyra?
free
What up,
trials.
Wyra? When
That's
they
Wyra
started
name,
making
bro. That's his name. All right, we not gonna talk about it.
the
All right. I see what's going on here. Finish that statement.
But no, when they started making free trials for these DAWs, and like, because I remember back when Pro Tools used to be on a CD, like a lot of the great DAWs like Omnisphere, or even like the effects like Omnisphere and stuff like that. All those VSTs used to be on CDs. I feel like it was a game changer when they started making it digital. Like,
Man, for the worst.
That's
word.
yeah. For them, for the
This
business,
Pro
what
Tools
is
subscription is
is,
ass, bro.
No, it is trash though.
It's ass,
Like,
bro. You should go
Tired
pay
these
You would
$6.50
It'd
and
be
get that
good.
little bit of that download
Yeah.
card and be happy as
bro,
hell.
be good.
you
Now
would
you
think that
gotta.
they would like you pay $5.99 for the subscription. You would think that you don't have to pay that again. No, they want you to keep paying that every year.
Yeah, it's not like
That's
that.
every month. Well, nah, you talking? Oh,
The
yeah, you say
annual
something,
joint, yeah.
Nah, them days over with. Everything subscription based.
Bro, I feel like there is like a very clear answer that we are
It's slept on.
it's slept on. And we need to wake that John up.
Yeah, definitely.
I,
I'm gonna
That's
be quiet.
crazy.
one
I'm gonna be
Yeah.
quiet.
one that comes to mind. I feel like it's not a big
What is
thing
it?
now,
Yeah.
but that more so changed the game as far as like getting music out there was ringtones. I've seen like Mixed by Ali talking about how like that was kind of his way into the door of when people was needing ringtones, whether it's recording your own song or whatever, or your own ringtone. I know even on some like promoting music, I know there was a time on the voicemail. I had several songs on the voicemail. Like
Was
You
there
used
a
to put your
specific?
shit on there, or was it like popular?
it was a moment. It was a moment I used to put my shit on there.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah,
there
but
a
I feel like
specific? Yeah.
You said what?
No. Was there a specific app though, like, or platform?
Nah, I can't think. Well, I'm not. I never did the ringtone joint. I wish I would have got in that game early. That folks making a killing.
Do y'all feel like something changed when them mini MPKs, Akai joints came out?
That's
I feel like
real.
it didn't even
That's real.
it didn't do nothing different than any other MIDI controller, but it just seemed like there was a shift in just the way people thought about production or just approached it. Like when like them portable little keyboard joints. I just feel like
I
something
feel
changed
you on
there.
that. I feel you on that because like it was a flu of niggas trying to get one of them gents just because it had the little mini keyboard on it. Like,
I think most of it was portable. Like you had the best of both worlds in a sense on one device.
it
Yeah.
wasn't like that big ass Casio you got to carry around. I used to love my Casio keyboard.
I don't know. I keep thinking of things that changed the game, but none of them feel slept on.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't know.
Dang, production game be giving their flowers to
Shout
these
out.
shots. I see her.
Shout out.
Times have changed.
I don't know.
Shout
What,
out.
what would you say is the you were saying like the most like there's one that we're just not mentioning.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to figure it out because
Okay.
it's slept on.
What about like even as far as like TV programs like 106 in Park? It wasn't slept on.
Nah,
shit.
that was not
or the
slept on at
basement
all.
or stuff like that.
I'm thinking about devices, like
Yeah.
things that
Yeah.
change the music production game, like from the standpoint of making music.
That's slept on.
It was slept on.
Yeah, my main one, like I said, is Shazam. But again, I feel like Shazam is known, but I still don't think it's as known as it should or could be.
Man, it's not slept on. We talked about it a while ago. I feel like who sampled
Yeah.
did
That's
like,
always in the back of my head. That was one thing I tucked away thinking, that's not really.
Yeah,
you ain't
you don't
really
even want to
slept
tell
on.
people. Like, you good.
Yeah.
You never really said that. But I feel like it still is like if you know.
Yeah, it
like
did
a casual might not know who sampled, but I feel like
facts.
I feel like there's not a producer who doesn't know
Yeah.
who sampled.
I feel like it did change the game, though.
Yeah,
On some,
for
like,
sure.
I'll
you
say
trying
this
to...
though, man, and this is something like, man, I might be giving away G level secrets. You know what I'm saying right now, but it is what it is. Like, man, I think when people talk about like whether it be like drum sounds, samples, software, right, pirated software. In my opinion, like the most like slept on in the dark portion of all of this world, like I think mainstream is like mainstream piracy is like your early like LimeWires, your Kazaa, Soul Seek, those gents, right? Then you have like one step into the underground. You got like torrents,
Yeah.
right? Torrenting, right? But then I would say a few levels below that is where all the real stuff is, right? And that's like message boards that are behind a few security walls and keep all of their files on file sharing platforms like Rapid Share, MediaFire, File Share. Like that's where you find all the gangster stuff, right? And I do think when I think about changing the game, I'm trying to think about my own, my own journey. Like I could shout out to all the stuff that I got and all the stuff that I paid for, but I could never hate on somebody for pirating, given how much
Man,
it
niggas been
affected
benefited.
my-
Yeah.
So I think that like those like that level of underground piracy, people don't know about that.
Yeah, and I feel like that's bigger than the tools you get from it too. Like that goes to building a community too. Like that is bigger than just like now you talking to people that you might not have interacted with, or you meeting people in studios that hey I got this from this, and you're like damn you on here too like like you really it's really building a community of underground like illegal I guess whatever like.
What up, Ghost? Virgo's in the building. Real quick, we didn't give the rules and regulations when we got started off. So anything that we're talking about, feel free to chat.
Help us out.
To tap in with us. Join the conversation. We will acknowledge your comment. We will respond if you have any questions. You will be a priority in the conversation. So tap in with us at any moment. We're live on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch. So if for some reason one of these streams starts, messing up on you, hop on one of the other ones. It'll be just fine. Today we're talking about, what's the current topic, LJ?
Platforms or devices that change the game. More so slept on platforms and or devices that change the game.
Yeah.
Production or just music in general. My example was Shazam. I feel like Shazam, it created a different pocket for me and allowed me to just create ideas on the fly. Being able to listen to certain songs that I was like instantly inspired by in that moment and just continue to listen to it. It allowed me to build those beats before I even, got down at my workstation.
Man, I got one that it might not be slept on, but it's gate kept like a mug. Either it's gate kept or I just was not in this world enough to like stumble upon it. But what's the break records? Man,
Drum Library.
Rodney Jerkins just did a video explaining a song that he did for I think it was LMA. It was somebody, and he was explaining like she wanted something. It was like a real cool song, but she wanted something to dirty it up. So when I think of dirt, I think of breaks, and he pulled the record out. That is the first time I've seen on any platform. Like that was amazing. Like that was like a groundbreaking moment to me. That was the first time I seen on any like producer breakdown video anybody like acknowledge this as a as a thing. I've only seen it as like in you got to be in a, like Mad passed them to me like it's really like a like you pass it down and then you hit the like facts. Like I've never seen nobody like publicly be like this what it show the record like you know what I'm saying and be like this what it is. And so I don't know if that's slept on, but I feel like them joints is definitely like
Gotta be slept on.
I'll say this, man. Like, and this feels kind of backwards just from being in the game this long. I think drum breaks, period, are slept on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I do. Like, and that's crazy because we used to rely on them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Really quick, Wyra says, the SP404 slept on device of the century. That's a wild statement to me.
Yeah.
Because everyone...
That is like...
The...
That is like the symbol of 05 music. Like, I've never... Like...
Yeah, bro,
I
that's
don't know.
probably the most woken up device.
right.
Honestly, like
of the
that's
production
not
game
slept
right
on.
now.
of the century.
Man, that's like somebody in '96 being like, "Yo, the NPC is wild slept on." What?
Yeah, it's crazy.
What about hip instrumentals? Like, I feel like without the start of hip instrumentals, platforms like YouTube and stuff like that wouldn't have made it okay to put like straight up instrumental tracks on.
I don't think I was on Hipster Minutes like that.
I don't know nothing about that.
Yeah.
Word.
Sound Click. and I
Sound
remember,
Click,
What was the
instrumentals.
other joint?
What was the other one? I can't think of it.
Sound Click sound crazy.
Yo, Sound Click is wild.
Sound Click, and there was another Sound something is where you sold beats. It was like the first Beat Stars.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, I remember Sound Click. I'm gonna tell you this though, bro. And this just, and, you know, again, like, this is a question of like the slept on spectrum, right?
Yep.
So like, okay, we all know we can time stretch, right? What I think is slept on though is how much that changed the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think we truly acknowledge what we used to have to do versus what we can do now.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
That's okay,
when it
yeah.
comes to time stretching, it's insane. Like,
Yeah.
and how much. And this is honestly a great segue into that other
Yeah.
conversation of
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
BPMs. You know what I'm saying? Which is why I personally, and I want to set the stage. This is why I look, man. If this was 1997, and you found that perfect sample, and that jump was, 91.53 BPMs, right? And it was in the right tune. You didn't want to pitch the record down or up at all. You know what I mean? And you just liked it like that or whatever. And then you got it in, you chopped it up. And then like some of the pieces is, it was a live performance, right? Okay. I could totally see you being like, damn, man, I got an MPC 2000. You know what I mean? Or I got an S950, right? Or whatever. Or I got a computer, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't got sound for it yet. But when I got sound for it, the time stretching, it sounds like absolute ass. You know what I'm saying? All right, cool. I could totally see you being like, yo, just leave it, 91.53. Bet.
Fuck it.
Yeah, yeah.
Bet. You know what I'm saying? Now, though? What are you doing?
Yeah, bro.
What are you doing?
9 point.
I can see. All right, so here's what I say when it comes to like weird BPM. So the conversation.
So you admit that they win.
They
We're breaking this down point by point.
It is definitely a weird BPM, you know what I'm saying? Because we normally think in round numbers, you know what I'm saying? 91, 92, 93, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So there's two layers to weird BPMs. One is just how you hear the beats. This is like the normal layer to me. Like,
Hold on, time out. My bad. I don't mean to disrupt. I just want to make sure we get in these. Before we go too far on this one, we got some comments and I need to see coming. Virgo says Bandcamp and SoundCloud, if we include on websites, absolutely. Big shout out goes. Midas says shout out to live mixtapes for the artist exclusives before
Live
streaming.
mixtape was real.
Live mixtapes for sure. Bandcamp, direct to consumer pioneer. Yep.
Yeah.
Gus says my friends make fun of me for how much I Shazam songs in restaurants, Target, etc. From a listening standpoint, I found so many artists through using it. Also, 99% of what I use my Apple Watch for. Damn. I almost can't imagine a world without it, akin to GPS to get around.
Dang, guess you just put me on. I didn't know you could
Look like-
Shazam off the watch. I don't think I knew
See,
that.
now you're going to be on the low.
Yeah. Well, shit, I'm gonna be on the high. Be like, yeah. But that's lit.
Big shout out to Gus, Midas, and Virgo for chiming in with us. Yeah, kid, go ahead. My bad.
yeah. So when it comes to like the point BPM joints, there's two levels. Because let me just preface. I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? But
He's with the shit.
But there's two specific reasons why. The first one, I feel like everybody should be able to get with it, and I think it's just based off how you hear beats.
No.
Right? If you're like one of them people that like to program all your things to 140 and above because you like the fast click or whatever, then sometimes like when you send that junk, like I don't like that shit. That is.
I feel
like that shit is too fast.
This
I feel you on
This shit
that.
is.
You
This shit
sneak.
is 75.
Just call me out.
And he looking to the left.
Call me out, bro. Just say my name, bro.
It ain't even just you. It's everybody. Everybody 148. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro,
This nigga around 70. This
Chill
nigga
out.
around 80.
chill out.
Say he call me out, bro.
Chill out. Anyway, just my system. You know what I'm saying?
J. Cole type shit.
I'm between. Look, for me, I'm between
Wild disrespect right now.
60. I might go at 59. You know what I'm saying? I'm between 60. at the lowest, and I'm up to 140. Once you hit 140, that joint is 70, bro. It's 70 BPM. That's it. So anyway, but sometimes you up there.
Nigga finna be waiting all day for the metronome. God damn. I'm trying to get this shit out.
Yeah.
So you up there. All right. So anyway, so sometimes when you have that joint, if you had your joint at 153, that joint coming out to whatever 0.5 or whatever in the lower joint. That's like normal. You know what I'm saying? Or when somebody send you a beat that's what they programmed it at. When you tap it out, you bring it into Pro Tools or whatever, that's where your tempo might end up being. I get that. It's like, okay, cool. Now the other joint, where it's like 0.23, you know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff. Bruh, when it comes to me, I am not ever sitting there and being like, okay, what beat I want to make this joint at? And I'm going to the tempo joint and programming 72.86. What I'm doing,
Cap, that's what you be doing, bro.
what I'm doing
Yeah, you tap the tempo.
all I do is like, at least in Ableton, they got the capture jump. So I literally would just start chopping some stuff and be like, oh, that felt good. Now capture it. Whatever the tempo was, I don't even look at that jump no more, bro. I find out the tempo.
That's crazy to me, bro.
I ain't even looking at the tempo. I just go.
I think that's the issue, bro. Like how?
What?
That's crazy to me.
This man don't even care, bro.
This is what I felt naturally, bro. I'm not finna try to conform
With technology,
to no niggas, you know what I'm
you ain't
saying?
gotta, bro. That's just crazy, bro. If we hitting 2 decimal points, bro, that's insane, bro. Like
it's just what I felt. That's how
just go time stretch and go to the nearest round up,
Them
nigga.
just was changing tempo in the middle of the break.
Yeah, bro, but your shit staying the same, nigga. Just round up.
Hey, bro, hold on. James Brown was not sending beats to rappers.
Exactly.
Bro.
That's why I started putting out instrumental. That's
Like,
why I started dropping instrumental albums.
And them niggas ain't have tempos. They just was vibing, bro.
Hold on. First of all, let's discuss the reasons why. If it was 91.53, why you would pump that to 92, no Diddy, right? Let's talk about that. The reasons why is not just for the sake of, oh, I'm somehow programmed to round numbers and I don't even think this is serving usage in any kind of way. No. The reason why is that sometimes, right? Sometimes, whether, through passage, through renaming, through this or that, whatever, blah, blah, sometimes people get a beat. Sometimes you want to send a beat. Sometimes, things happen, right? And you want to be able to say, okay, hold on. I want to be able to pull this into a DAW, Pro Tools, some software, whatever, and figure out like, okay, let me figure out what's the BPM of this, right? Not every and some software does have like BPM detection, but it be wild off sometimes.
Tap tempo,
right? And so there's tap to tempo, there's all this stuff, right? But like you want to be able to put it in and be like, okay, what? All right, this looks like it's 92. All right, bet. You know what I'm saying? And then you put 92 in there, and once you highlight 4 bars, it loops perfectly. Yeah. But if it's 91.53,
I gotta find it.
Now it's like,
yeah.
Gotta find that joint.
Yeah, bro.
It's so. Hold on. I gotta make my final point. So, right, you can sit here and say, "Hey, man, this is what I was feeling in the moment," but it's also extremely inconsiderate for any next person that might have to handle this. Right? It's in my opinion, that is like, I mean, I don't want to call that like selfish or self-centered, but it is very much like, no, fuck everything, how I feel right now. And like, bro, push that to 92. Nobody's going to notice no difference. It's not going to change your ability to sell the beat or get the beat placed. But what it will do is that it might help out the engineer. It might.
Bro, this is why I ain't even mixing no Johnson. And I feel the same way you feel about niggas that don't put the BPM in their beats. That's the version of it to me. I was like, bruh, that's the most inconsiderate junk. You just send this beat off and it's like, oh, you can figure it out. All right, fine. You should definitely make sure your junk is a round number.
All right, fine.
Make sure your junk is a round number. Me, it don't matter what the BPM. When you get a beat from me, it's gonna have a BPM in there.
You put 92.5.
I'm putting the whole shit in there, bro.
In the date, I seen that
Go
shit.
through my Dropbox.
That's crazy, but that long ass file name, nigga gotta go. Nigga gotta double click the file name, scroll over to find the shit. That's insane,
bro. If it was 100, it should be in there.
Yeah, my shit in every BPM and key, but my shit is you gonna see my shit in one look, nigga.
All I'm saying is,
In the
I don't know.
Sonny, what up?
I feel
Lucky,
like
what up?
I feel like I don't know about other softwares. I don't know if Pro Tools has like gotten better with that. I know MPC has definitely gotten better with this, but like BPM detection used to be ass. Now that shit is pretty accurate.
Yeah, 3 my MPC3 joint, our MPC3 joint is detect that shit is insanely good now.
Yeah,
it used to be trash.
No,
That shit is insanely good now.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I'll say this, man. Getting ready for the show, I'll be pulling in beats. I'll be like, all right, let me find blah, blah. And I'll be looking, I'll be like, it's right there.
Yep.
Every other version of this joint is like,
it'd be like, and then you would put it in.
don't have no interesting intro.
Exactly. Yeah, with space or whatever. Nah.
Over with.
Yeah.
Fuck that. You just gotta go find that shit. My off the wall joint. Can we start off with the Michael Jackson
Oh
joint?
my god.
I'll be like,
Here's all I'm saying. If somebody was upset with me for having a 21.5 BPM,
I'm upset. bro.
21. Hell yeah.
or 20, well not 20,
Anything in
a
the
point
20,
20, a point 20, a point 2, a point 3, point 4, whatever.
Yeah.
BPM. I would understand because it's like, you know, why? All I'm saying is like, it's once I start and it's in the group and it's just going, bro. I literally, especially since I started being a standalone, I literally do not even see the tempo. Like, I have to go out of my way to see what tempo this joint is.
That's insane, bro.
Like,
First of all, man, that sounds like an ergonomic design failure. Why you make a beat and can't see the BPM? Like,
I don't need. I don't need it, bro.
You right.
Hey, bro.
Hold on.
Beat machine.
Hold on. No.
Slap the shit in.
Nah, nigga.
First of all, you standing up. You passionate about this shit.
Nah, bro. Yeah, go ahead.
Second, bro. Second, it's not even look, bro. It's not a matter of this and this. It's a beat machine. That's like you saying, bro. Like, why do I have to see the gas gauge in my car, bro? You know what I'm saying? Why? I know I've driven 200 miles. No, dog. It's a car. You need to be able to see the gas
All I
gauge.
do on the push, if I want to see the BPM, I literally just hit tap and it show up momentarily. Bet.
Yeah.
Back in the flow.
So that's the issue.
How you gotta
That's the issue. That we didn't get to the issue. He got that small ass screen on the Ableton joint, and it don't. That's the issue.
Bro,
But
Hey,
My shit is big as like I can't not
got
see the
push
tempo.
last year. I've been using the computer where that junk is always there for a long time, and my junt's always been like this. So it don't really matter. All I'm saying is, but that's my point. It don't matter that much to me at all.
Yeah, that shit is insane. That shit would drive me
Hey,
crazy.
artists, how
bro.
y'all feel about this, man?
I had to make it.
How you
I just
feel,
don't
Unique?
care, bro.
Wira said
I
that's
don't know,
very
T-
useful information
Bruh.
for someone who regularly sends beats to engineers and such. Shout out Wira.
I don't know. T-Pain
rap-
said
Lace in
he
the
ain't
building. What
fucking
up,
with it.
Lace?
I seen a clip where T-Pain was like, bro, if you send me a beat and it's 84 point anything, he said, I'm not fucking with it.
You dissing T-Pain right now? Hey, we live right now, man.
we not a part of that at all.
I rock
We
with
love
you,
you,
T-Pain.
T-Pain.
All love.
Shout out.
We giving you a whole number
Remember
of
that time we
BPM,
was in
bro.
the studio together?
I can't.
You my dog.
All love to T-Pain.
Bro, if the joint is hot, you would
no
drag
parts
that
of
joint in
that.
there, bro.
But I also think why T-Pain got issue with it. I think most of the time he engineered himself too, so he probably like, bro,
He does.
what the fuck is
And
this?
them niggas don't be having the BPM in they shit.
Yes, he does.
So I would see I would be irritated too trying to figure
Yeah,
that
to
shit out,
find
bro.
that shit.
All right, Gus says, I feel like I'm extra enough making demos with BPMs that aren't even numbers. Damn. Let alone using decimals. I could not imagine, but I bet it depends on the end result. If the vocals sound right where they need to be, no rushing, lines, words held out too long, then that's the correct BPM for the song in the end. I don't know, that's a different level, bro.
Yeah.
Let me tell you a different level what we
got a
got.
space
Bro,
with
me
that
and Aaron James now, what we started doing, bro, so our normal process is he'll write a song on the guitar, record like a voice memo to it, record a voice memo of it, send it in, and that'll be like, okay, this is what we're working on. So we'll come in and record that. And so normally what we usually would do is it was like, okay, we'll get an approximate BPM, set it, and then we'll track to that click or whatever. What we started doing now is we would load in that demo and warp it. But then we would change the warp setting. So instead of conforming it to a BPM, the BPM changes to keep the performance natural. So what we started doing is just recording a natural performance, and so the BPM don't even be the same throughout the song. Or it be moving, but just stay on the grid.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know.
That's fire.
I'm getting
That's
Well,
fire.
that's
fire.
that's. I mean, that makes sense for that. That's we talking hip hop though, but it makes sense for that.
What I'm talking about, bro. This man, like, look, man. When I record Bollywood,
That is hard.
he created
That's
in
fire,
Yemen,
yeah.
bro. We talking
Yeah.
about. Come on, bro.
BPM is changing.
Bro, I'm just saying. I see.
Yeah.
So, just to give some context, this idea, this topic came up. I seen a video with Crisis. He's a producer. This man had a beat. It was like 84.63, and I'm like, bro, as a hip hop producer, if you just make straight boom bap, bro, you don't need that. Like, what's the purpose of an 84 point whatever if you just making boom bap? Like, it's
Yeah, you done chop
You're
the
not
sample
even
to
gonna be
death.
on it, man.
Why
I
do
was
you
gonna say,
need?
like,
Why do you
exactly,
need? Like that don't
seriously.
make no sense,
Like,
bro.
we don't even
You're absolutely right. The only
straight
time it makes any sense, in my opinion, the only time it makes any sense is if it is real deal, a straight loop.
Yeah.
A straight loop.
Yeah.
And like you're using some kind of device.
They don't get the
That
time.
is like, it is like an older device.
Yeah.
Like if Cream, if Cream is 89.67, fuck it.
cool.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Absolutely.
I mean, there have been times too, like where I just chop a sample and just the way the sample, like I've pitched it up or whatever, and it's just where it falls is weird. So like how I just naturally chopped it, and if I were to move it, but I didn't warp it. It's just the raw joint. So if I were to move the BPM, it does move
You
that
fuck
shit
with it a
up.
little
Yeah.
bit, but then you warp it and
But-
get it back to.
See that
I
why
did-
would I go out of my way,
Bro,
just for the
this-
BPM?
The shit bothers me, bro. Like
Out of my way for the BPM? That's crazy.
I'm with.
Kid Maestro got no love, man. Hey, yo, real
He's like,
quick,
fuck y'all niggas.
we got Savia says, I do a little decimal BPM every now and again, but it's because I feel like I'm always making beats in the same tempo. So he's just looking for diversity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Corey Owens says, I love the quantization of natural hip hop performance. All right. Big shout out. Salvia says, GarageBand also does this where it tracks BPM changes in the session and aligns to the grid. That's interesting. Big shout out to GarageBand, aka
GarageBand.
the garage
First thing
version
came
of
up.
Logic. You know what I'm saying?
The garage.
It is. It is. Just like iMovie is young Final Cut. Like,
Yeah.
It really
Yeah.
is. Let me check what we got. Nikita's like, damn, kid stood up. Like, kid got passionate, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Let me calm down, y'all. It's just BPMs, you know what I'm saying?
It's just
Make the shit sound good. It's all
Yeah,
good.
man. At the end of the day, man, it's 2025. Like your time stretching, device, right? Like, unless you're going from 90 to 63, get out of here, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, no one will know. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, and it just makes it like you move through the beat, so like everything else just falls into place when it's like
Yeah.
you might get other stuff that's rhythmically involved. That's like a one shot with rhythm or whatever. Then you got to like I don't know, bro.
timed effects be weird as
I
hell.
don't know, bro. I just gotta like, and I don't know. Maybe it's just my mental. I can't see that shit,
It's
bro.
never gotten in the way of anything.
I can't see that shit.
Cap. Cap.
Then,
I'm
bro.
gonna tell you why. Because like your beat, like so for example, right? What's the most used DAW on planet Earth?
FL.
Maybe.
It's Pro Tools, fam. It's Pro Tools, right? It's Pro Tools. Let's say a song you produce. It's not even the beat no more. It's a song, right? Okay. It's a
Yeah,
song.
that's crazy.
Right. A song you produced is a lot less likely to have the BPM information
Right.
in the title and everything, right?
Right.
But there's still reason to drag a song into Pro Tools, perhaps, manipulate it, all of these things, right? Right. Again, if it is 91.6738948, you know what I'm saying? Then it's like, all right, I'm over here tapping T, and I'm doing human time, and I'm like, what is
This
this?
ain't
I
it,
just got to
bro.
go through and find this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, if it was just 92,
We locked in.
We there.
Like, even DJs and shit. Like but that's crazy. I've never I look up tempos frequently too. Like that's kind of how I reference like where I want to go in a beat. I've never seen a tempo be like 92 point. Like I've never seen a song do that. But even past,
definitely have.
I've never seen a song. What song,
have.
bro? I've never
You're talking about a
seen.
song recorded in 1961, bro.
Okay, I've never seen.
Bryson Tiller got a giant, bro. Like, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Nah, you got. I need facts. I need proof, bro.
Bryson Tiller.
I ain't never seen.
It's 6 trillion songs that come out every day. Yo, Bryson Tiller got one.
Just one.
I'm gonna tell you. Let me tell you what people. This is what actually throws people up when the song changed tempo. That shit be fucking people up.
Yeah.
That's the one that DJs don't fuck with.
Yeah.
Niggas be throwing that shit in Serato. It do not matter.
Yeah, you
bro.
got two different songs in the genre, of course. But even like past like the song aspect, I don't know. Maybe Ableton loading beats up is different, bro. If I had to load 100 beats up with all 0.2 ass giants, bro, just typing this, bro. What?
Yeah.
Like that shit is insane,
I don't know,
bro.
again. It just works. You just throw that shit in there and it just reads it. So I just
And
don't even.
I'll say this too, man. Like it's not binary. If somebody hit me with the 89.5, I'm not mad
I'm
at
decent
it.
with that.
I'm not mad at it. But when you hit me with the 89.57, now I'm just
Like, what's
bro,
going on?
It's a difference.
What's going on?
I feel you.
What are you doing?
Like, why, bro? What's the purpose of this?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
It's real, that's the thing. I feel like if you go out of your way to make that tempo, that's weird.
You being
but
petty.
if you started making something and that's what it is, like
Yeah, but
Just
then,
leave it alone.
but
Are
then,
you gonna take your time to go back and
Hell
make sure
nah.
that, like, when you get knowing that you're the only person that rocks like that, are you gonna make it easy for the
bro,
engineer?
I can't even remember the last time somebody even needed a song from me. So I don't even know if I'm thinking this.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
he record, he do all his shit. He like,
Yeah, bro, like I don't even like these scenarios. I ain't even been through. So like,
it's like,
this
I'm
shit
only
is
one
all
mixing
just
my
imaginary.
shit.
Like,
I
damn, I guess I
respect
do have to
that
consider
shit.
Extreme.
I respect that.
I don't even fuck with niggas. I mix all my shit.
respect that.
Fucking
Nigga
that.
said,
I
oh,
respect
okay, yeah, I
that
guess
shit.
if me and Pro finished the song and that shit happened to be
I
82.8,
respect that.
you know what I'm saying, 6, then yeah, I guess, that would be a little annoying. So I'll be thinking about that in the future.
are you a real asshole?
That would be annoying.
I just do Kid Maestro shit. I feel it, bro. I fuck with
All right,
how you
hold on. We got a
snapping on
question from Savia. He says, how do we know even whole number BPMs are what they say they are? Now we get into the matrix. Right?
Shit.
That is to say, the whole double time thing. Is the song at 120 or is everything stacked into 60 in a way that sounds faster? Is the sound drastically different? This is a good question. This is a great question. Let's discuss. Shout out to Charlamagne.
Yeah, now I feel like this is somewhere me and Mad actually align. Bruh,
For real?
when you count the beats, when you count the bars in a song, in most trap songs, that joint is
Yeah.
that's not 16 bars right there. That's 4.
Bro, they showed me counting. I'm like,
That's, you know what I'm saying? Like, that wasn't 8 bars. That's 4. You know what I'm saying?
You
And
count.
so,
It's a quarter note. You count the quarter note.
but that's not how people are. That's not how the rappers counting the bars. That's not how people bobbing their head to count the bars.
Hold on. You know what? Hold on. Let's do a test. We ready? All right, everybody's got to answer honestly. Before we do this test, right? Everybody's got to answer honestly, right? You cannot base your answer off of what somebody else said, right? You have to be able to stand on your own two and then defend your answer. Are you ready?
let's get it.
Ready.
All right. Let me make sure I got this. All right, bet. Let's see. Okay. How many bars is this?
Okay.
Two
I
bars.
got 2.
It's 2 bars?
Two.
I got 2.
2 bars?
Yeah.
All right. How many bars is this?
Two bars.
It's 2 bars.
Yeah.
Dramatically different BPMs,
Yeah,
right? Okay, I'm here to tell you today I'm here to tell you today. BPM is beats per minute,
Right.
right?
Right.
Okay. I'm here to tell you today. That was the same drum pattern showing up in Pro Tools today, right? Okay. Which one was faster, the first or the second one?
The second
first.
one.
The first.
The first one.
The first one was faster?
Yeah.
I say
Oh
this.
no. You said which one was faster?
I say the second one.
The second one was faster?
I said the first one.
The first one was faster. Why do you say the second one was faster?
Because it depends on the BPM. The BPM could have been going slower and had a the BPM could have been going faster and still kept at a slower pace, depending on the bars. How many bars you do. I can't explain it, but I feel like that would have been a faster BPM because like the like and
Okay, now
you know what I'm saying?
no, hold on.
Damn.
Now this is where basic understanding versus what cognitive dissonance is found. Right? Okay. A drummer is playing those.
Yeah.
Which one is he moving faster with?
The
The first one.
first one.
Of
The
course.
first one. Right. So is it safe to say the first one was faster?
Yeah, the quarter note was faster.
Right?
first one is faster.
Okay, then why does the second one get the faster BPM?
Because it slowed down.
Because people in general have a hard time with subdividing slower BPMs. So people use the eighth notes to keep time because because if you're not great with timing, you get lost in the quarter notes and slower BPMs.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, so that was a cultural phenomenon that I had to live through and act like everything was okay, right? It was because people are like, somebody's playing a beat that is 1,000% 65 BPMs and being like, yo, load that up, man, that's 130. I'm like, no, it's not. It's 65 BPMs. Exactly. 130 is that is that, right? Not
The house, the pop. Yeah.
That is not 130.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I also think that. So for example, I think this also had a thing to do with it, which was like in beat machines, right? If you're hitting like beat like note repeat, right? Obviously, if you have it at 130,
Yeah.
when you're hitting that
Yeah.
16th and that 30-second note
Yeah.
repeat, they're just. I think people got addicted to that,
I can
and
see
they
that.
just
I can
started
see that.
saying, "Put it at 130."
The double time. I can see that. I can see that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I feel that. I feel
Yeah,
that.
I feel like too. Just what C Major said earlier is just like the metronome joint. If it's slower, then like you gotta wait for that bar to come in.
Yeah.
That's how people catch the rhythm.
Yeah, and so for me, like how I mitigate that is if I feel like the metronome is too slow, I'll just change the quarter note.
Bro,
So
that shit pissed me off so much too, bro. Because it don't change the time. You just get more beats.
Just more beats.
And I hate, so now you waiting, now this shit loop twice before you bro, that's what I'm saying. Like, that shit drive me crazy, bro. Like,
Yeah.
it's not, it don't do nothing but speed. You just get more beats. Now you waiting, you got a whole metronome loop before you get to make the beat, bro. Like, what the fuck?
I be needing that time though. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? I need a bar. Give me a bar.
It worked out for me.
I need a bar. You know what I mean?
So Savia says, what helps me determine the beat measure count is where the syncopation notes hit. Most snares in rap are on the 3. And that's
2 and 4.
That's not, with all due respect, like maybe in the way counting bars and time has changed because of this cultural phenomenon. But traditionally, that's not true. Yeah. They're always on 2 and 4. Yeah. Like, and again, like I think there's something about doing this that made people decide to count a different way, but that's not the way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like technically it's just not. It's just shifted.
Yeah, I do think too. Like we went from like hip hop, which is like there's 70 and 140 are the same thing, but when I think of 70 and 80, I'm thinking New York. When I think 140, that's Memphis. Like that's like Memphis definitely has a double time history. Like that's just where we live, and that's kind of where I get that from. Like I didn't start making breakbeat. Like I started making Memphis shit, and so we was matter of fact. I don't know. FL used to load up at 140, and so most of my beats
130,
was my. I feel like my joint was maybe it might have been 130, but I feel like most of
you
them.
said FL default was like 130, 140.
It literally
Yeah.
is 130.
Yeah.
That's that is very. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That is like a slept-on thing that probably influenced
A
the
lot,
whole
bro.
generation.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I never thought.
That's
Nah, that
crazy.
shit.
Yeah.
My shit used to load up at 140. I knew Soulja Boy used the same shit because I had all his sounds in my shit, and so I was like, all right, I want to make shit like that. I think he probably at 142. I hit the metronome, listen to his shit, listen to my shit. All right, bet we around the same time. Like that's where I'm at. Like, and so that like did, and I'm from years of 140. Listening to 70 now is like, bro,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing. Like I used to do double time. Like I used to watch niggas do double time because that's where I got it from. Watching niggas do double time beats on 70 BPMs and 60 BPMs, but the beat would be picked up a little bit faster. And I was like, oh, okay, you can slow the BPM down and still have that, but. It didn't work out for every track. Or when I see where that
But
conflict.
if I'm making some like breakbeat, like hip hop, like or loop shit, like it's definitely 70, 80. Like that's how I know. Like when if a nigga hit me up, be like, I want something like this. I just type 70 BPM in my joint, and all them joints gonna pull up. Like, all right, these are my like breakbeat.
Real quick, let me hop in. Savia says still does at 140. Sonny says Logic loads at 120. Yeah, but most metronomes start at 120. So that's normal. Like I think everything I've ever owned before I changed it started at 120. But for FL to be like, nah, 130, 140, that feels very intentional.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You
nigga.
said Machine starting at 140?
Nah, my machine was at 120.
Okay.
Now you can set this shit now. I feel like you probably could have did that in
Nah, I
FL
feel like
at the
machine
time.
started at 120 though. Like
Isn't Logic known for house music production? I never knew Logic was known for that kind of. I thought Logic just did everything. Sonny says he uses Logic for everything. That's what's up. That's what's up. Big shout out to everybody in the chat. Everybody chiming in. Everybody with us on IG, Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitch. Yeah. Let's continue on, man.
So kid, you ain't budging?
Well, look, I guess I got some things to consider, some situations. You know what I mean?
He ain't never gonna.
You know what I'm saying? And, bro, if it don't fuck it up, then it, fine. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, I'm just not considering it past like once I start and it's working. Like I'm just going really, and I just leave it as
bro.
it is.
You
So
free?
that's really,
You free?
It's really.
Honestly, bro. No, I'm not about to do that. I'm not about to do that. You go. We can switch. I'm about to give props to Everton, but we're not finna do that. On this.
Damn.
We're not finna do that.
Not today on Type Beat.
But I will say, when it comes to like the 140 double time situation, the main reason I like had to make a hard decision on what I was doing is because when I be DJing a lot and stuff be 140 or 70, like things that'll go well together be like hella scrolled far apart. You know what I'm saying? So I find myself always changing the tempo in Serato so songs that are near each other can be with each other. And I just started to adopt that for my stuff as well.
Bro, I'm not a DJ, and so I don't deal with it in that setting. But like doing like the beat mixes I was putting in the app, bro. That was my favorite shit of 140 to 70, and then you have time to 140 and blend into this. Bro, that shit worked like magic. Now I can't imagine in a club you going from 140.
Well, the song ain't even there. You got to scroll so hard to go up there to where if you organize about BPM.
to go. I see it. Yeah, man. But in a playlisting scenario, that shit is.
I will say
Chico.
something though. It kind of echoes what C. Mays said, man. Like, I will, just because I know and understand like the climate today. Like, I'm not trying to reject it. So like, I do think like I might make a beat that is 70, right? But if it's got I might put the BPM as 140 just so that I recognize this is that kind of thing. You know
Interesting.
Okay.
Versus like Mother Sang, which is not that.
Yeah.
That's just 70 BPMs. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
So I'll adhere to that as a way to help me like navigate, visually the style of a beat for sure.
That's interesting. I never thought about that, but it seems like you found your workaround. Yeah, man, hopping into this Grizzlies joint that we. Damn,
Damn.
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 All right, man. Obviously, I still got some work to do in this transition.
Hey.
Yeah. But
Hey.
man, just talking about the climate of today, man. The work that's needed to get to where we're trying to go, and things that we do in this music game or just life in general is like just understanding, like, bro, you can't skip it. So even when it comes down to talking about the BPMs and everything like that, like, there's still things you have to figure out what works for you. It's work that needs to be done. So yeah, like, how would you, I guess, define work in what we do? On your career, your journey, like, what's the work been like? What does it look like? What's the dedication that comes with it, the sacrifices? Yeah, what's your definition of work, bro?
I guess part of my definition is finding a need and feeling it.
To you, wow.
Y'all slow.
Finding the hole and filling it.
Oh my god.
Filling it up.
I need somebody. Never mind. But
2%, man.
No,
what was I
did
finna say?
We're
Oh,
gonna
you
do
know
it.
what y'all want to know what I was just saying.
We're precision.
What's up, dog,
High level execution. Dedication.
We talk about work, y'all.
Yeah, man.
Talking about work, y'all.
Yeah, good work.
Nah,
But
you bugging.
yeah, work to me looks like sacrifices. Like, what are you willing? Like, I was chatting about this with Neen the other day. Like, what are you willing to sacrifice? Like, what are you willing to structure for yourself to make things work the way you see yourself working? Yeah, that's partially how I see it. What about y'all?
I think that, like, when I think of just the work, it's more so like understanding that it's your path isn't going to be pretty. It's not going to be perfect. Like, that's where the work comes in. Like, it's easy to do the things when you feel great, when everything is laid out for you, when you're told what to do. But the work comes when you're trying to figure out, okay, how do I push myself today to get better? How do I control my emotions so I'm not allowing my circumstances or whatever the case to stop me from doing the work of getting better? So those are the things that I like identify and think about when I think about work, because for me, work is not meant to be easy. And I'm not sure if that's just a bias of just how I was raised or whatever, but for me, work isn't meant to be easy. It's not meant to, work shows up, again, when there's work to do. When it's a difficult day for you, when it's hard for you to get out of bed, when it's, when you got certain things going on in your life and you still have to figure out and where you're going to get that energy from to complete the task. Like, I feel that's when work is needed.
Yeah, yeah. I think we all know what work is. I speak like
Not
personally.
Not everybody.
Not everybody. I think everybody should. But I think personally, like, for me, what work has been is a journey. I always think about work or dedication or anything. I think of it in sports. Because possibly that was my first love. I think music might have been my first love, but sports was definitely right up there. And so I always look at Mike versus Kobe. Mike was the first. Let me not sleep on my pops was the first real definition of work, like in everything. Like, that nigga worked. Like that. Like, let me not sleep on him. But it's if we're talking like celebrity status and like reaching a crazy level. Mike was the first that I kind of reached back and saw levels that I had never seen before. But what I always think about with Mike was, I don't think that nigga had fun, bruh. Like, I think he was dedicated. I think he was insanely competitive, and I think I think maybe that was his fun. Maybe I just don't understand it like that. But I don't know if he genuinely loved his life. You know what I mean? Like, nobody knows. Like, it's like Mike, the only nigga that know that question. But from the outside looking in, I'm like, damn, bro. Like, nigga down there don't got no friends. Like he be pissing niggas off, like just doing. But he's great. Like niggas fuck with him. Niggas want to be around him and shit like that because of who he is. And then I go to Kobe. Like I feel like Kobe was like the 2.0. Like he figured out how to make the journey fun for him, and it wasn't always like that. Like Kobe. Early 90s, 2000s, it was Jordan. Niggas hated, bro. Like he was probably a miserable person to be around, bro. Like very competitive, but he somewhere after that wild ass case that he get and switching from 8 to 24, he figured out how to like enjoy life and keep competitive, keep drive, I'm gonna beat your ass. But also, like, let's go out to dinner. Like, let's.
Yeah.
And then even pause. All right. Yeah, it's crazy. But pause. But the nigga, you like, let's go out to dinner. Like he just, I don't know, bro. He know Diddy. Maybe Diddy. I don't know. What the fuck niggas on, bro. But anyway. But that nigga just like I feel like he had figured it out, bro. Like he figured out making the work fun, the journey fun, because it's not, bro. Like. I'm a fun nigga, and so I be wanting to like, but the shit get ugly, bro. Like the shit is not pretty, and more times than not, when you're trying to do something amazing, them scales is this shit ugly most. Like it's ugly a lot of the time, bro. Like probably most of the time. And so if I'm trying to do this, and I'm not quitting, I'm not going out. I gotta make ugly fun now. Like ugly, I gotta look up. I gotta be like, all right, bet like this. And I feel like that's where I'm at, like, or now that's not even where, like, that's where I'm kind of, the journey, making the journey fun, making it work, making it ugly, like, not what I'm looking forward to, but I know it's gonna happen. Yeah. And I might not even be ready for it. But damn, that's exciting, bro, because I know the other side of this is finna be wild as fuck, bro. And so like, I feel like that perspective like changed, and then seeing that around my niggas, like all of my niggas, I feel like have that same perspective, bro. I feel like mad is the definition of it. Like seeing how pushing through that shit, and then the next week nigga be like, y'all, so we got this, we got that, and like seeing shit like that, like just like compounded and then really like showed me that that's the only way, really to do something like game changing, life changing. But yeah, I feel like that's.
Yeah. Let me read some comments right quick, man. First of all, I agree with everything you just said, bro. Salvia, no, hold on. Let me go up even further, actually. Dallas, a.k.a. Wyra, says, work, in my opinion, is that discipline that says, even though I don't want to do this today, I'm going to get up and do it, simply because of the necessity of garnering that mastery supersedes the comfort of not being tasked with moving forward on the particular day. Sonny says, work for me is avoiding the excuses to not do something I know I have to do to get where I want to be. That's with anything that I do. Salvia says, is work always tied to the goal? How many degrees of separation are there? Being productive versus being busy, right? That's a tricky question, which I'll kind of explain why it's tricky soon. Wyra says that's a fire question. Big shout out to Wyra, a.k.a. Dallas. Salvia says, or is figuring out the work that doesn't work also the work too? Yeah. Absolutely.
Yes, for sure.
And then Salvia says, maybe Diddy is crazy. That's a wild sentence.
Maybe.
You could,
hey, Diddy, maybe, nigga.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Big shout out to Journey in the chat as well.
What's up, family?
Shout out.
Yeah. So, Kid, man, what's work to you, bro?
Yeah. Work to me, I feel like I agree with pretty much everything that was said. But one thing that I feel like has kind of recently been tacked on to my perspective on work is that it ultimately is a gift, right?
Facts.
Like, to me, I believe that any work, which is why I also am curious to how we're going to discuss that moving towards the goal versus being busy, because I believe that in all work there is profit in some sort of way, right? it's either teaching you something, it's making you better, it's getting you towards a desired result, or it's just simply maintenance. Like we've seen, I mean, it's, example after example of like the people who work the longest usually live the longest. And we see when people hit retirement, that's usually when decay starts happening and things start to hit a downturn. And, in any given situation, whether you're having a good day or a bad day, if you were incapacitated and couldn't work, pretty much any time somebody in that position would say, I would prefer that I could get up and work or do something, right? Versus when you can't. So I ultimately look at work as a gift. And sometimes that gift is sometimes our bodies don't feel like working. Yeah. But like that's all, I feel like that's our self-destructive part of us trying to move towards decay. Nothing left alone, nothing still will go towards order. Everything left on its own devices goes towards chaos. So you got to work every day to just stay the same, right? Much less get forward. And I think that's a gift, and that's a model that we have to that we should follow and understand and appreciate. And I feel like for me, when I have that perspective, especially when it's hard, that usually can get me through. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, I am blessed to be able to do this work, to have work to do, right? So that's what it is to me. It's a blessing. And, not all the blessings that we have in our life are we always aware of or do we always appreciate, but basically working to appreciate and be aware of those things is kind of a part of it. So that's really my perspective on it right now.
I feel that.
Really quick, we got another comment. Lisa Wheeler, aka Felicia, says, "My wallpaper on my phone, follow your plan, not your mood. A constant reminder to push through, persevere, and work towards my goals." That's real.
That's real.
I love that. Dallas Williams
It's the government for me.
says, "There's purpose in working." What's funny is that's like a cool name. It's
That's
just,
a
but you
cool
just don't
ass
know
name.
that that's his name. Right?
Like, that
It
name
sounds
is
like a
cool as
record
fuck.
executive.
Like,
That
period.
should be your rap name.
Like, literally.
But
Mr.
there's purpose
Dallas.
in working. Being busy can be anything outside of work that occupies time. There's a reciprocity involved with work that doesn't necessarily apply to being busy. There's no inherent value tied to busy. I agree. I think that, I don't know, my relationship with work is a storied one. I think somebody could, other than myself, could write a book about the idea of work based off of my life. But I'll say this, man. One thing that is undeniable, let me go ahead and make sure that, okay, yeah. One thing that is undeniable, though, no matter how you feel about work, there is no escaping work.
Yeah.
There is no, and I want to be clear about something. When I say work, I don't necessarily mean job,
Right.
right? The work is ahead of you, no matter what, right? And so for me, it's the idea. It's just how you do anything. It's how you do everything. Like if I'm gonna work, right? Well, then I might as well be good at it. I might as well bring the best version of myself to it, because it's not like there's a version of my life that doesn't have to work, right? Now, I want to say that though, work can be anything.
Yeah.
Right? Work can be, so many different things. Like a big, like a basket full of work for me was figuring out what's going on in my subconscious. It was staring at a wall and thinking, right? In ways that made me recognize things about myself that I didn't know and at times didn't like, right? But that's called doing the work, right? And I think once I just position work as something that you can't escape, that you have to do, then to me, I don't have a choice but to bring my best self to it. I agree with Kid. I think that the ability to work is a blessing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The ability to accomplish things, to create something, to move something forward, to maintain something.
Yeah.
All of those things are a complete blessing. I do think, though, right now, what you guys are getting from me is probably the most like balanced version or description I may have ever given about this idea. Typically, previous versions of me would have a different, you know, I would say different things, glorifying the importance of work, and I would probably criticize and chastise those who did not take work as seriously as I do. But I think that even comes from, I think a lot of times that gets misinterpreted. So I think what people do is people take a celebration of work as a criticism to rest, right? As if we can't do both, as if we can't chew gum and walk at the same time, right? As if I'm saying, yo, work hard, that means I'm saying never rest, never sleep, right? And so, no, I need to be able to talk about work without having to say, no, I still want you to get your rest and get your sleep. Like, we should be able to have a conversation about what work is and what working hard is that is not void of
Getting rest.
or acting like this is an attempt to propaganda you into never resting,
Yeah.
right? Right? Like, we should be able to have a conversation about potatoes and not have to say, well, what about the steak, bro? No, let's talk about potatoes. Like,
Yeah.
yes, they complement each other. Yes, no doubt. But we're not talking about steak, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let's just talk about the work, And I do think that, like, I think that even when people know they have to work, it feels like there is this, like, global concerted effort to still do as little work as possible, right? To give as little effort as possible, and even to look as relaxed as possible, to look like everything is not, you're not sweating for anything. Work is easy. I do it easily, or it's not easy, but I'm only going to do the bare minimum, right? And then say I was working, So not all work is equal, right?
Right.
But I'll say this, man, like, there's nothing. Everybody listening out there, if there's ever an opportunity that I've gotten that you wish that you got, right? There's nothing that divides me from everybody else by how seriously I take working. Nothing. Like, if there's ever an opportunity that you want, that you see I have had, right? And you're thinking, what do I need to do to get that opportunity I Make Mad Beats got? The very first thing you need to analyze about me is how I work. How much I dedicate and prioritize myself to my work. Before you think about who I know and blah, 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 and money and all this other stuff, fuck all of that. The first thing you need to think about is I Make Mad Beats simply working harder and longer than me? No titty. You know what I'm saying? That's the first thing on your list. Everything else comes second, third, 18th, right? And I'm probably doing that and getting good rest, you know what I'm saying, and eating good, you know what I'm saying? But I'm also not taking those shortcuts, right? I'm not trying to figure out how do I get the same effect with less. No, I'm realizing, no, I need 10 bricks to accomplish this.
Right.
Bet, let me go get 10 bricks. I'm not out here like, damn, 10 bricks. I got to figure out how to do that with 7 bricks.
Yeah.
Let me just find a shortcut way and make up some fake bricks and then act like I'm putting in the same work. Nah, I'll do the work to get the 10 bricks. That's the
right.
difference between me and you. Every time. And then I'm going to get the opportunities every time. And then y'all going to sit back and be bitching, crying about something. That's what y'all do. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to anybody listening. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to everybody in the chat, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying, like, that's
real.
that is the difference between me and my opportunities and everybody else.
I feel like, bruh, and one, I think, nuance of one thing you don't do that a lot of people do, especially when we talk about having to work with or for other people, right, is like attaching. I feel like there's a phenomenon on attaching how we show up to other people, basically. Meaning like, oh, this person doesn't deserve my best. right? Or this corporation doesn't deserve my best, which that's not even what I'm not here to debate that with anybody about what corporations do or do not deserve. But I feel like your best, you deserve your best.
Right.
You deserve
That's it.
to get the most out of yourself out of any situation that you're in.
That's
And have the satisfaction of knowing you're doing that despite how anybody else around you
Yep.
shows up. Like that level of integrity and that level, you being able to look at yourself and know that you do that is worth the wait and go. And that sort of confidence is what propels you into the next opportunity, whether somebody sees you doing it or you just cultivated a self culture of always giving your best, that you now have the bandwidth. Your new bottom has shifted, right? So now you can grow from there. But like if you never push yourself to where like lifting, you know what I'm saying, that new weight is normal for you, like growing past that is going to be exponentially harder. No matter what you think your potential is, you know you're not giving your best, but that's backfiring on you because it's also keeping you where you are.
Right.
That's a fact.
Right.
Yeah, I you know, every one of y'all and every intern that's ever come through Unapologetic has heard me say, that you have to, who's working hard when the coach isn't looking?
Yeah.
You know,
Character.
because at the end of the day, the person you should be afraid to disappoint the most should be yourself,
Right.
right? Like, if there's somebody outside of you that you're more afraid to disappoint, right? Then are you really capable of leading yourself into high expectations, excellence, and all of these things, right? If every time to get you to do something uncomfortable, to get you to take yourself to the next level, you have to measure up to somebody else's expectations,
Yeah.
right? No, you need to be Kobe and Phil Jackson.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? There should be a Phil Jackson in the back of your head telling you to do one more push-up,
Yeah.
right? Telling you you can't finish this run.
Even when somebody's saying you doing too much,
Yeah.
Bro.
or you blowing up the spot.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the thing is, and I'm just, I'm going to keep it all the way real. I've been doing this publicly in this city long enough, right? To absolutely see people come and go who told me I was taking it too serious, who told me I was too intense, I was doing too much. It don't call for all that. You doing way too much. And those people are gone.
Memphis the king of that.
Absolutely. Those people are gone. Whatever they were trying to do didn't work out for them. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still here, right? And that's the thing is that, like, Kid Maestro is absolutely right. The very first thing that made me weird in my life was being intense about the things that I cared about. Big shout out my cousin Jason, right? I'll never forget. One day on 4th of July, he was like, yo, what you doing after this, man? You trying to chill? I was like, nah, I got to go to the studio. He was like, cuz, you always in the studio, bro. I was like, yeah, man, I'm serious. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he was like, bruh, even when we was kids, you played serious, right? And yeah, I've always inherently been like that. But the point Kid made is important. Is that, like, people will try to dilute your intensity. People will absolutely tell you, you doing that too much. You taking that too seriously. You care too much. It don't take all of that. Just about things you really care about.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing is, like, and there are many reasons. I don't want to go into the psychology of why people do that. Just know people do that. People want you to be like them. Because when you're not like them, it intimidates them. Right? There's something about that makes them feel uncomfortable. And you have to withstand that. You know what I'm saying? Especially in cultures and in places where complacency runs wild. Right? You have to withstand that, and you got to say, nah, man, I'm ready to put in the work. But you got to recognize a lot of the work is withstanding the culture around you. A lot of the work is like going to the gym, right? Doing the work, right? Eating a certain way and being surrounded by ribs, hot dogs, everything with butter in it, right? Whole things with a whole bunch of sugar in it, right? That's the culture where you are, right? Going home past all of that, right? Drinking some water, eating some salmon, you know what I'm saying? Like, absolutely, that's some of the work too. Resistance. Protecting the fact that you were on this journey. Protecting yourself from influence and being inspired by a culture that would set you backwards.
That's
Right? This is what I tell people all the time. I tell interns this all the time. I'm like, yo, the biggest difference between an internship here in Memphis, I'm just going to keep it all the way alive. The biggest difference between an internship here in Memphis and an internship in New York, where I did an internship, right, is that everything in New York, everything, you walk outside, it's a rat in front of you who's trying to be the most gangster rat you ever seen in your life. Everything in New York is like, get better, do better, be faster, be more efficient, right? Take everything to the next level. It's a dude kicking a rock right now in New York who is like, yo, man, I'm trying to become an Olympic rock kicker. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely, right? Meanwhile, and so when you have an internship in New York, like I did, somebody in the studio is pushing you to the next level. And then when you leave there, the entire culture of the entire city is still applying that pressure on you. Right? Bet. Here, though, you might get pushed in the studio. And I don't even mean my studio. It might be Boo Mitchell. It might be For You. It might be Magnetic. You know what I'm saying? You might get pushed in the studio. Right? They might tell you to be intricate, to be detailed, to be meticulous, right? To be relentless, right? About knowing things and doing things, right? To be healthy, to learn to make yourself essentially like an efficient, moving thing that can assist you in the art of engineering and or production, right? And as soon as you walk outside, you will be met with things. You will be met with vices. You will be met with things that slow you down, things that are asking you to not be as meticulous, not be as detailed, not be as excellent oriented, right? And there's a culture of that. There's a culture of complacency. You know what I'm saying? That is real. Like I don't want to hear nothing else. That's everything else is cap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you know it, I know it. You know what I'm saying? Let's stop acting like that's not there. There is a culture of complacency. You know what I'm saying? And there's a culture of people telling you, like, you don't have to try that hard.
Yeah.
I know, I lived my life here.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a culture of telling you, you are too intense. You should chill.
Not just telling you, checking you.
Absolutely. Making fun of you.
Making
Making fun of you. Trying to tear you down. Because you really care about something. Stop acting like that's not here. It's definitely here. Right? And so you might like push an intern 4 steps forward, right? And know that the world is going to push them 2 steps back.
Yeah.
And so that's the journey of learning anything intense in this environment, right? Is knowing, this is why, by the way, every time somebody's trying to teach somebody something at a high level, right? They take them out in the forest. They take them out in the desert.
No distractions.
Right? So that a society or a culture, right, can't push your understanding backwards amidst this learning. Right? And I just get tired. I get tired of people acting like that's not happening. That is absolutely happening, and part of your work is going to be resisting that. Unless you want to just go out in the forest. That'll work too.
I feel like that's it, yo. You know what I'm saying? That's the end of Type Beat. You know what I mean? And I think just for me, the other part is just the work is realizing that it's a blessing to do.
Yeah.
Like it's a good thing. Work is a good thing. Always.
Always.
We should. I feel like personally, we should strive to be working for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
Maybe not at a job or this job that you're working at,
But just
we should want to be working some way for the rest of our lives.
That's right.
I agree.
That is a good thing, and I feel like society has very much taught us that it's not.
Yeah. Let me get some of these comments before we be out, man.
Man, I'm gonna hold this up while we let me grab this.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Savia says, totally agree with you all. It's even crazier because as much as y'all work or are perceived to have worked based on what is outwardly presented through merits and content, etc., it can almost be said that y'all work at that level and y'all make it seem like it's no work at all. Yeah. Thank you for that, man. Like that's a good point that I think people miss. I think a lot of times people think we just being here chilling all day. You know what I'm saying? Nah, we be putting in that work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, too.
This is not to discredit y'all in any way, but y'all just exist. And the layers of that being y'all desire to progress and y'all unique ideas and what have you, feeling you deserve your best and so on. So glad that y'all created this space as an extension of that. Yo, we really appreciate you, bro. We appreciate your words for real, man. And just the way you show up and support, man. Like, for real. Big shout out, Gus. He says, working long or consistently definitely isn't glorified like working hard is. That seems like an important distinction. That is an important distinction, Gus,
Yeah.
for sure. Gus also says, admittedly, when I can see the purpose behind work is when I put in overtime and give my all. That's real. The best leaders answer the why. Oh man, that's what's up, Doug. That's a great compliment that you may not have meant to give me, but that's real. Also, admittedly, this is why my work ethic is crazy when it comes to making music, or even something as simple as food service, but not so much behind a cubicle. That's facts.
I get that.
Gus says, Sonny says, you only speaking facts, man. Big shout out to Sonny. Gus says, culture of complacency. That's bars right there. Absolutely. On IG, man, we got some comments coming in. The official preach says, I think people often forget that work isn't going to look the same each day.
Yeah.
That's
The
right.
consistency is probably more important than the actual work itself.
That's right.
I'll throw consistency up there for sure, definitely, man. Big shout out Jonathan. JK Piano says, man, every single thing you're saying, I relate to. Being a transplant from the East Coast, I feel this every day. Absolutely, you know what I'm saying? Like I tell people all the time, I left here as Nemo, I came back as I Make Mad Beats.
Sure.
You know, because it's just real. Big shout out to all my people checking us out on YouTube. Bar None says, create your own lane and create opportunities for yourself, despite who the fuck looking and feel some type of way about it. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing is like, you know, I can't tell you how many people, especially growing up in the city, I can't tell you how many people, I'll be real, like some of my fans have hit me up in their 30s and even in their 40s. Like, one of the biggest reasons why they're a fan is because they feel like I did what they didn't do, right? And it's not make music or, no, it was resist,
Yeah.
right? Like, they fell to the trappings of peer pressure and just getting checked and made fun of for having these interests, right? And so they funneled themselves into more predictable lanes that would get less criticism or less, you know, there was less ambiguous, right? And they're watching me be an ultra grown adult with a family, run a studio and live life and wear the things I want to do and do the things that I want to do, you know, all day, every day. And their admiration of me isn't necessarily an album I put out or even in my studio. It's the fact that I resisted. It's the fact that that they watched me get made fun of. They watched these things happen, right? And I just said, fuck y'all.
Yeah.
That's what's up. I'm gonna be out. I'm gonna come back with some gold medals and some trophies. Watch.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Resistance is part of the work, man. Big shout out to Lace, man. Lace says constantly, and determination goes a long way. Absolutely. Big shout out to Lace, man. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to Lace for having us, you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
In the house. Coffee Black, the Anti-Gentrification Coffee Club. For Robbie's run, man. That was fun.
Amazing.
That was ultra fun, man. Big shout out to Lace, man. Lace, we got to get you in the studio, man, just to rap. No, I don't even mean rap. I mean talk. You know what I'm saying?
but if you want to rap,
if you want to rap,
we got
that's cool,
beat.
you know what I'm saying?
You know,
But
we can...
I feel, man, when we interviewed Lace and his pops, Ball, man, like, I feel like everything Lace said, I feel like I've written down,
Yeah.
on something before. So big shout out to Lace, man, and the alignment. You know what I'm saying? Lace also says simple, but those things shift the universe. Absolutely,
Facts,
bro.
facts.
Absolutely. All right, man. I think we got all the comments, man. Any last and final words?
Yeah, man. We still got to talk about this work.
Lace. Yeah.
February 28th, man. Friday.
Let me get the camera on you, my G. You got that one. Boom.
February 28th, Friday. We talked about all this work.
Yeah.
Because Friday we dropping a work collection. And bro, this collection has really been
It's work.
Come on now.
Sheesh. A lot of work.
Come on
y'all.
now. We put hands
feet,
on all of these
elbows,
garments,
and
bro.
everything. Literally
Look at this
hand
shit,
pressed,
bruh.
hand sewn.
We ain't just like
handmade.
hitting up some
Nah,
manufacturer.
bro.
We working.
We touching every
There's a
piece,
big
no diddy.
difference.
Yeah, like all this stuff is hand touched.
Yes.
Literally.
We love, bro.
I just
so,
finished 2 boxes, got 1 more
Yeah.
box to go.
yeah, we working, bro. So pull up February 28th.
Let's
Cop
go.
a ticket, cop a garment, bro. It's finna be a fun night.
Let's go.
I don't know if we can say what I'll be doing.
Oh, we
tonight.
saying what we
Let's
doing,
say
bro.
it. Yeah. Let's say it.
all
This
we
shit finna
saying.
be
We putting in the work
crazy.
to be able to say it.
And
We taking over. We
And
taking over the
period.
whole
Come
game.
on,
The
bro.
whole game.
Yeah.
We got the pregame. Show up early, bro.
Go.
Look, hold on. Look,
Let's
y'all.
go.
Show up early. Don't
Yeah.
come late,
Let's
bro.
go.
Because for two reasons. One, we performing at the pregame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't want to miss that because it's going to be super
special,
special and
man.
super
Yeah.
important.
Very
Like, it's
special.
not going to be no regular. Bro, show up. It's going to be dope. And show up so you can buy these junts.
Period.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's obviously going to be first come, first serve. No, we can't put in an order
Yeah,
for
we
you
can't.
ahead
We
of
can't
time.
hold
And
it. Can't
no,
do that.
it's not even like that,
Once
bro.
it's gone, it's gone.
Once it's gone,
for real,
it's gone.
for real.
We
We
don't
can't even
even-
make these again.
Exactly, bro.
Like it's over
Show
with.
up. This is not the only piece too. We
Yeah.
got multiple pieces.
Multiple
We
sizes.
got multiple pieces. You know what I'm saying? We got multiple pieces.
Yeah. We got the work shirt, we got the jacket, we got a long sleeve for y'all, and we got a crazy beanie, bro. Like it ain't no regular beanie. We got
Definitely.
ears on it that look like a bear. Unique to
Got
put
the- you know what
hella
I'm
work
saying?
in on them, bro.
It's got love.
We
and
got some shit with it.
So yeah, we doing that, and we performing halftime.
Halftime.
And
The full
period.
halftime. We on the
Full.
court.
Who we featuring with the halftime?
Come on now.
Oh,
Man.
bro. Okay.
Who
so
rolling with
first,
us, bro?
first off, we got my man Rudy.
Yeah.
Let's
You know what I'm
go.
saying? Shout out my
Yeah.
man Rudy.
Shout out.
He been around since the very beginning, bro.
Yeah.
Like we went to him and Offham had their first shows the same day.
Crazy.
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 Then we got Blue Levies.
Let's go.
Right?
Yeah.
Crazy. Bro, we was in rehearsal.
Bro,
Man, was
snap.
snapping.
Nigga was ready.
Snap it,
Nigga
bro.
was ready.
Yeah, he was locked in.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying? But then we got a super special guest.
Yeah.
Super special guest. We partnering with Opera Memphis
Let's
Bro.
go.
Yeah.
Building.
in this joint. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Let's
saying?
go.
You ain't never seen nothing like that, bro. I don't even know if they even came to a Grizzlies game before. If they have, you know what I'm saying? It hasn't been performing.
Right, it was
It's
just
gonna be
chilling,
special.
yeah.
Unapologetic in Opera Memphis.
Come on,
Let's
bro.
Let's go at
go.
halftime.
Takeover, man.
Please pull up. Who is even? I don't even know who.
The Knicks.
The Knicks. All right.
That's
you
a
know
good
the-
game
It's the
too.
Knicks. Yeah, it's the
That's a
Knicks.
good
We-
game
we-
too. But yeah, fuck it.
Nah, we
You
get
feel
to
me?
see Cat
turned
fall,
up.
bro.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
I just want to tell the people what game that they
Yeah, it's
looking.
the
You know
Knicks
what I'm saying?
game.
It's
The
the
New York
28
Knicks game.
Knicks
Yeah.
Versus
game
Grizzlies.
versus Grizzlies.
Big shout out,
Pull up.
Jonathan.
We
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, we out here. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
what's
man.
going
Get this
on.
work, man.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
exciting.
Now it's gonna be dope, man. I just want to really quick, man. Shout out to everybody who's rocking with us and who's playing a role in making this complete musical takeover happen. Yeah, I just want to shout out my G Blue Levies. You know what I'm saying? Like something I said on Facebook the other day. Like I'm gonna just say this, man. Like, you know, shout out to everybody who can. Shout out to all the artists out there who can get a call to come and do some work and not be a diva.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can
Yeah.
just pull up, do what you do,
Murder.
do it well,
Yeah.
and not have to make people, do all kind of wild acrobatics just to involve you in something that they want
Yeah.
to do
Yeah.
and into their world, man. And that's one of the key reasons why, Blue and I ended up making the song together. I knew I could call him in. I knew he would understand the task. And we did it, and now we're about to perform it with Opera Memphis for about 16,000 people.
Crazy.
And so, I'll just say this, man, for any art, I don't care if you sing, rap, you play an instrument, you know what I'm saying? Like, again, let's get back to this work, man.
Yeah.
Like, make it easy to work with you,
Yeah.
and you will get more work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More people will work with you if it feels like, wow, if I can hit this person up, it's just done.
Make your BPM simple, bro.
All the
Come
way back
on,
to the top.
bro. Come on, bro.
Period. Period.
Yeah. But with that being said, any last and final words?
Yeah, you can make your BPM simple. But put the BPM in the track. Damn it! If you send
Damn it.
Man,
Listen it up for people like me.
Get the app, bro.
Just write the junk, bro. You knew what it was. Anyway, that's all.
All right. With that being said, my name is I Make Mad Beats. You have just witnessed Type Beat, a producer podcast for producers, engineers, music lovers, and people who just want to see other people discuss things. We are live from outer space in Unapologetic Studio, and behind me is my cast.
LJ1S.
Period. Unique.
C major.
And Kid Maestro.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. And on that note, stay dangerous, stay safe, do both or do neither. Peace.
Peace.
Bitch, are you jealous?
Oh shit. Here Here we go again.